The one and only Mike Gallagher Show.
It is great news indeed, and the joy of the returning hostages continues to reverberate all throughout the world. Welcome in. I want to start with a report from Trey Yingst over at Fox News Channel. There is this, we live in two sort of parallel universes. There's truth and there's fiction. There's reality and there are lies. And there's a lot of great lies that are told on a regular basis. We have to accept that. Propaganda is part and parcel of our discourse. The left thinks that people like me are propagandists. I believe that people over at ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC are propagandists. I suspect you do too. But one of the big lies that has been told over and over again is that President Trump is a cruel, evil, maniacal, narcissistic man. Now, Trey Yingst, the foreign correspondent over at Fox News, has really never been described as very warm and fuzzy towards MAGA. I've seen some criticism that he's received over the past in his reporting. Others can judge that. I don't care one way or the other. But what I did notice was his acknowledgement. Now, this is a news reporter. This is not an opinion guy, okay? This is a straight news reporter. He's just supposed to be in the field and reporting on the facts. He's a war correspondent. He's the guy that often has a helmet on and a flak jacket, and he's dodging the mortar shells. And is regarded as a really fine war correspondent. Listen to what Fox News Channel's war correspondent said about President Trump and his schedule yesterday in Israel.
What stood out to me is how much he actually cares about the region and the people here. This is the most powerful man in the world, and yet he purposefully delayed his schedule so he could spend more time with the families of hostages and hostages who had been freed in previous deals that he supported. And when you think about what this means, it means that you have a leader who is looking toward the future with an understanding of the realities on the ground. And those realities are that Israel is a population of nearly 10 million people. The Gaza Strip is a population of more than 2 million people. And the president has a vision for a future of the Middle East that would not have all of the violence and war that has ravished the Middle East for the past 2 years, as we've seen inside the Gaza Strip with the death and destruction following a horrific massacre on October 7th. And so this really does feel like a moment of change for the Middle East, an opportunity for countries around the world to come together.
Of course it does, but it also is showing a side of President Trump. Trey Yingst is exposing a side of Trump that people don't understand exists. He delayed his schedule so that he could spend plenty of time with the families of the hostages for as long as possible. I remember covering one of Trump's campaign rallies back in the day, and he delayed everybody because he wanted to go thank personally every single police officer and first responder who was assigned to duty that day. He went out of his way, not in front of any of the cameras, to shake every one of their hands and pose for pictures with them, because that's the kind of guy he is. I wonder if this peace deal, and I asked this question yesterday, I'm going to ask it again today. I wonder if this deal is revealing the successful side of Donald Trump. Whatever you think of the guy, sharp elbows, mean tweets, combative personality, this is a guy who deeply cares. In fact, Greg Gutfeld yesterday on The Five on Fox News sort of echoed the theme that I was embarking on yesterday, and that is, where are the never-Trumpers today? Where are the Trump haters? What about the No Kings protesters this weekend? Are any of them stopping to take stock and realize that maybe, just maybe, they were wrong about Donald Trump? And Greg takes it a step further. He wants to know if they're willing to apologize.
I would love for never-Trumpers to ask themselves about the possibility that the things that they hated about him are what make him successful. And perhaps your ego was hurt by the fact that he believed that these great things could happen, and he was persistent and relentless and positive, and that just seems so alien to you. If you think about it, where are his critics today? How small are they? Because I can't see them. Where is Bill Kristol? Where is Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney, Gavin Newsom, Vindman? Where are these people? We should do a show on Fox Nation called Where Are They Now? And just do because I want to know, how do you look in the mirror when you see, after years of mocking people who had faith in this guy, people who risked a lot of stuff to support Trump that you made fun of, the George Takei's of the world that ridiculed it, where are they? Don't you owe the people that you mocked some kind of apology?
And I don't necessarily believe that an apology is forthcoming or even expected. What I believe is, and I want to see if you agree with me, even quietly, even silently, these Trump haters have to acknowledge they have been largely wrong about the man. And I'm starting to agree with people like Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin, who said yesterday on Fox News, the people who will be in the streets this Saturday for the No Kings protest, they are simply people who have a blind rage, a deranged hatred for President Trump. Here's what he said.
The optics of the No Kings Day going to happen with a anti-Trump rally, which I'm kind of curious of what they're going to protest. Here you have a president that literally the world is praising because he's the president of peace. He's literally leading the world now, and yet they're still going to protest him because why? The economy is so bad? Because our streets are safer? Because he's bringing the hostages home? I mean, what are you really protesting against other than just your deranged hatred towards President Trump?
What are you protesting against other than your deranged hatred for President Trump? Isn't he right? I don't want to be cruel here. I want to have some grace. I want to have a little bit of decency, but I really do want to ask you at 800-655-MIKE, as we kick off Tuesday here in the Relief Factor studios, you tell me what drives hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people to take to the streets Saturday to protest this man right after he achieved the unthinkable, peace between a ceasefire and peace in the Middle East. Is it just a blind rage? Is it just a deranged hatred, as Markwayne Mullin put it yesterday? Or are we missing something here? Give me your take. Give me your thoughts on the people who are unwilling to give Trump the benefit of the doubt ever. 800-655-MIKE, call or text. I hope you join us. 800-655-6453. Hey, flood the zone. You know me. I love loaded lines. I want to talk to Americans about this bizarre turn of events, this wonderful, joyful occasion to celebrate the release of the hostages, the return of the hostages, peace in the Middle East, and yet what Markwayne Mullin refers to as the deranged hatred of Trump. Is it going to get better? Is the tide going to turn or not? I want to find out what you think. Join me, 800-655-MIKE.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.